Welcome back, everyone. In today's video, we're going to be working on crosswalks. All right, we have a lot to do, so let's get to it. Okay, before we start to ballast, we need to finish our crossings. You can see I've already got this one in place here in the center, and it's wood. Now I'm starting this one here, and all I do is I take lined notebook paper and lay it on there, and then I actually take my fingernail or just a scrap little piece of wood and press so that the track is indented into the paper. And then again, I took my fingernail and went along the edge of where that road ends, and then just cut my pattern. Then I've cut some thin pink styrofoam, and we'll put that pattern on here and cut it out. Now the reason I use the pink styrofoam is because I can bring that over here after I get the pattern cut. I can make sure that it fits perfect against the rail. I can lightly sand it until it fits perfectly. Same with the road. I can just lightly keep sanding it here and there until it's a perfect fit, and then we'll just paint it to match the road. This section here is styrofoam, and then this is the asphalt, and this is asphalt. Now make as many patterns as you need to. Get your pattern as close to perfect as possible before you transfer it. It's so much easier to keep cutting this and trimming a piece of paper than wasting any styrofoam. Okay, this is my second paper pattern that I cut. I still might need to trim a little bit off. But I think I'm going to go ahead and cut this out of the styrofoam and put it in place, run my train back and forth, and see if there's any derailment. I think we're very close though. Okay, let's cut this out of styrofoam. Okay, so here's where we're at with the crossing so far. This project is taking way longer than I thought it would. I think a lot of it is that I first cut every piece out of paper first to create a pattern, and then I cut the final piece based off that pattern. And there's no straight cuts. Everything is at a slight curve. Let me move this for you. On the wood here, I don't have this glued down yet. So I cut my pattern out of lined notebook paper, and then I just smeared glue over it, and then I laid boards down on it just straight. And then on this side I cut it straight, and on this side I just broke them off. And then I've had to flip it over and cut this curve and then cut this curve. And then I cut away the stone from the road so that it sits perfectly flush, and it's flush with the rail. Just a lot of constant back and forth where you're putting it in place, sanding it, putting it back in place, sanding it some more until it's a perfect fit. Okay, we have a sidewalk to put right here. We have two little sidewalks to put in right there. Oh, and another point is that I have been running the train back and forth to make sure that there's enough clearance, that nothing derails. Okay, we have to put a sidewalk right through here and then right in front of these buildings right here. So we still have quite a bit to do. And then of course all of this gets painted. For the sidewalks, I'm using these, which are sold on my website. So you get 4 pieces that are straight, and then you get 8 corners. So you could put a corner on each end of the straight pieces. And I believe the length of these are either 8 1/4 or 8 1/2. Sorry, I just don't remember, but I believe it's marked on the website if you go to the website and look. Okay, we are making progress. As you can see, I've got the sidewalk here. There's 2 little structures that sit right here. I've put sidewalk over there. We still have to cut a piece for right there and right there. I have a sidewalk that I need to put in over there, and then a driveway that gets put in. It just sometimes you don't know where to stop working on things. This, I have to cut the sidewalk off the front of this and then install a sidewalk right here. And I'll show you this. So I just have to cut off that sidewalk. I don't need it. And then we'll just extend that sidewalk right there, paint it to match, and put that there. And then eventually we have a sidewalk that comes down right here and stops. We're going to have to put traffic lights on all 4 corners here in this intersection. Okay, for right now, we're going to glue in these 2 pieces, glue the rest of this down. I guess I should paint it first. I'll paint all the sidewalks and then glue them in place. Okay, the sidewalks are all finished. I even did these 2 little pieces here. Now, that is the same as the sidewalk material here, but I glued a piece of thin cardboard, like cardboard from a cereal box. I glued it underneath it to raise it up to the height of the rail. This piece back here, it probably took me 5 or 6 times to cut that paper, to cut the pattern out of notebook paper. And I'm telling you that because cut as many patterns as you need to. Make sure that it's perfect, exactly how you want it. Then lay that pattern onto your sidewalk material and then cut it out, because notebook paper is cheap. Okay, now we just simply need to paint and weather all this and get it glued in place. So I needed a background kit, and I had this kit from Foscale Models. It was one of the Kit of the Month Club kits. Now what I did was this lower section here, let me zoom in for you. This section here, the lower section, is a separate piece than this. And what I did was I made a cut right along there, and then took this section and put it down Let's see, I think it came, I don't know, something like that. Then this upper section, I actually cut a brand new wall section with a slightly taller windows, and I made it 3 stories instead of 2. I'll save this wall section over here as an add-on for another structure. So I'll probably cut it just like that. So then we just get rid of this middle section, and now we have the 2 add-ons. Okay, here it is in place. Now that middle building right there, it needs to have a concrete foundation and loading dock added to it, so it'll raise it up just a little bit. Okay, let's get back to work on our crossings. Okay, the crossings are finally done. Now I need to glue this all in place. And I may add some cracks here and there to the concrete. Now this is all painted with the color Cocoon. I know that Cocoon is no longer available, and I've showed in many videos how to mix the color Cocoon. But I really like the contrast. I don't know if you can tell the difference between the color of the sidewalk and the color of the road. All of the weathering on the sidewalks was done with soft pastel chalks. And just a couple small ratty brushes. And I also did a really light wash of a brown over that cobblestone. It was a little too close to the road color. Oh, let's see, I made some changes over here. That big building was on the corner. There was a, I don't know, an ice cream or a hot dog stand. Hot dog stand on that side of it. Well, I moved the hot dog stand to the other side of the layout, and then moved this building down and put this on the corner. And man, it just fits. I love it. I love it because of the root beer bottle on the roof. You have the cheeseburger on the roof and Batman on the roof. It really just completes that street scene. So there's the hot dog stand. And I moved the new stand right next to it. I put that building back. I think it was just meant to be there. It just really looked good there. So I put it back. And it's nice that it's finished on both sides. And up here, I put SOS boat repairs right there. There was a garage there, and it just wasn't working for me, so I moved it. So on this side, we'll eventually add a chain link fence along there, and then it comes out right there. because this is a sign shop from Foscale Models, and it comes with a lot of signs, and all those signs will go there and against this back retaining wall here. If you're wondering about the odd-shaped cutouts here, there's structures that get put in there. We have Full Moon Tavern and the Crossing Shack. Okay, I still need to glue in all of those sidewalk sections, and I'll use this. Now again, eventually this intersection needs a traffic light on each corner. And then of course we'll add fire hydrants, mailboxes, telephone poles, lamp poles. No matter what your skill level is, when you finish a scene, make sure that the viewer cannot see any raw material like plywood, plaster, plaster cloth, cardboard, chicken wire, white styrofoam, pink styrofoam. You don't want the viewer to see any of those materials. So you can just quick go through and do some touch-ups with paint, add dirt, add weeds, bushes. You just want to hide any raw material. All right, that's all we have time for today. This project took me way longer than I thought it would. Just because, again, everything was on a curve. And I just had to go back and forth with fitting things, making sure that it was perfect, because I didn't want any derailments through there. Now, while I was working on this, I was posting pictures every day, sometimes twice a day, on my Patreon page. So if you want to see behind the scene photos of what I'm working on, please consider becoming a Patreon member. All right, and like always, a huge thank you to all of my Patreon members. All right, well, until next time, stay motivated and happy modeling, everyone.